Hey guys, it's Chris, and welcome back to another Game of Thrones Season 8 video, and this will be my Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 6, the Game of Thrones Finale Preview. And really quickly before I get started, I wanted to mention channel memberships are now available on SmokeScreen, and I would like to thank my newest channel members. Thank you Lord Kev, Stacy Bauer, Doc Holliday, Desert Dragon, Peach, Randy Suimatsu, Raina Marie, Thrasher Associates, and T. Bowen. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. Anyway, let's jump right in and take a look at the little preview we saw for Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 6. This will be the final episode of Game of Thrones ever. And it's not quite the story we expected, as we saw from Episode 5. So anyway, our first scene, we have Jon and Davos, it looks to be, looking over the carnage. There's not really a whole lot we can say about this episode. There's a very short preview this time, because it's dealing with the aftermath of King's Landing, the battle for King's Landing, which of course became the slaughter of King's Landing. So we have Jon and Davos looking over in disbelief, and then we follow up as well with Tyrion doing the same thing, very similar to last season after the Field of Fire 2.0, where he's surveying the carnage and seeing all the burned bodies, etc. So Dany did become the Mad Queen and go just a bit overboard this episode, as opposed to just disposing of Cersei, dealing with the Scorpion Bolts or the Red Keep. She decided to burn them all. We see a couple shots here of the devastation of King's Landing, as we saw in the previous episode, as it was happening, from the perspective of the small folk and the innocents that Dany was roasting alive. We see Arya creeping up here on the Dothraki, and they were going crazy as well, like they were back in Essos during this last episode. So we're going to see the remainder of the Unsullied here in Dothraki cheering here. So Arya's coming up, and she is now pissed off because she was in the middle of this hellhole after the Hound actually talked her into leaving the city. But then, of course, she helped people try to escape, and I don't think a single one made it except Arya with her pale white horse. We see another quick shot of Arya here staring up to Dany, presumably, as she walks out to look over the ashes. Yes, she is now Queen of the Ashes, because they decided to go the Mad Queen route for whatever reason. So Arya is not a happy camper here. Before they said they didn't trust her when they had no real reason. Now they have a reason. We see the remaining of the Unsullied here as they stand somewhere in King's Landing, awaiting Dany to come out. The question is, do they believe in what they just did? Now obviously Grey Worm particularly had his bloodlust going on, losing Missandei. He's the one who initially attacked an unarmed Lannister soldier after Dany went insane at the bells ringing and went after the entire city as opposed to just Cersei. Another shot here of Tyrion walking through the ashes, thinking the same thing everyone else is. What the hell have I done? We see the Dothraki cheering as Dany comes out, and this is again the old Dothraki, the way they acted over in Essos. She had laid down new rules for them that no longer seem to apply. And then final shot here, we see Dany walking over, looking among the ashes, looking at what she's done. The question is here, is she remorseful? It doesn't look like the way she's walking right here she is, but at least hope before this thing ends that she does realize what she has done, that she at least admits her mistake before she has to go, because I don't think she can live after this. I don't think there's any way, shape, or form she's ever supported by anyone, and I think it comes down to Jon versus Dany now, because now we have a new Mad Queen who just laid waste to King's Landing. She damn sure broke the will all right, because nobody will ever rule from there again. And that is all we have for this preview of Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 6, the finale of Game of Thrones. They decided to go full Mad Queen, as we just saw in Episode 5. Really mixed emotions about it. I do understand this was not going to end well. It wasn't going to be some perfect, happy ending, but it's just a little different when you actually see it happen. So obviously this next episode will be dealing with the fallout after Daenerys has just burned King's Landing to the ground. She is now technically the queen, yay Team Targaryen, but she is now literally the Queen of Ashes. So the fallout has to be her going away for good, I'm sure. I don't think an exile will do this. And of course right now she still has a dragon, and the only one that can stop her potentially with the dragon is Jon Snow. So anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Next I will be working on my Episode 5 breakdown and review, so stay on the lookout for that. And as usual, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and share. And be sure to subscribe to get everything, and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.